Greetings to the crypto community. We are pseudo-anonymous. We are here to smash that like button. We believe this content needs to reach more people like you. We are watching. We are listening. Most importantly, we are liking and subscribing. We are pseudo-anonymous. Expect us.
Now remember, Road Dog, it's the green button, not the orange one. I know sometimes you like to hit, well, you hit whichever dang button you want to. Not today, not the green button. Don't screw that up. I think they're ready to go. Why do you always have to pee right before? Just come on. All right. Are you ready? Remember the green button, Road Dog. The green button. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. What happens if I hit this red button? There's only one way to find out.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, it's smoky in here. Welcome to Late Night Crypto Chart with the Road Dog. My name is Lane, and I am your resident idiot tonight. Looking at all the fear that just seems to be taking over some of the altcoins, at least on some of these shows. Anyway, I've seen a couple, not all of them. I've seen some good shows. Charting Crypto, shout out to him. I was on his stream earlier watching him. Very good analyst. Love Charting Crypto. He's awesome. Wow. Hey, there's a screen behind me, and it's like magic. If you enter this code word DAWG, it's like knocks off 10% on whichever set of Tangem cards that you would want. And why would you want a Tangem card? Well, if you don't have one, you might need one, and you need several wallets. And, you know, I hate to say it, I hate to throw you under the bus, Ledger, but you piss me off sometimes when I have to fight with those little buttons. It's just true. I still have you. I still have some over there. But a lot of my crypto gets put on my Tangem wallet. And I just, it's all secure right here. And it's a little tap. And man, it holds Caspa. It holds A0. It holds a lot of the tokens that the other ones just don't. And that's my shield for this evening. Let's go ahead and oh look, everything started coming up. You have to change your thumbnail. We told you here first that the market was pumping. No one tells you exactly where the price is going but us right here. Guys, we're just having some fun tonight. Actually, I thought I had some more chill music on and I forgot to change it. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Let me pull you down here. We've got Strake in the house. We got Chris. We got Haven. Hey, I'm so glad to have you guys here. All right, and whether you are watching this show live or perhaps you are catching it later because it's just a little too late for you to be up, one good aspect about watching this show later is that it kind of gives you a little bit of an edge, a little bit of a heads up for the next day. So if you can't catch me at night, you want to catch me there the next morning. That might do you some good. I'm just saying. Just throwing an idea out there. All right, so I'm just finishing up some final touches here. I forgot to change my music. I think we'll rock with this tonight, unless we get any complaints or requests. So, mixed feelings about Bitcoin, and we're not going to spend much time on Bitcoin because the altcoins are so much more fun right now. But we got to start with it because, well, that's what we do on the show, and, you know, if Bitcoin's not happy, nobody's happy, and I personally would like to see Bitcoin remain happy. But basically, to put in the nutshell, we're still above the 9 moving average on the daily, so that's good. I'm cool with that. We've had this trend line that you can't see on the daily. You got to get on the 4 hour to respect this trend line that we got right here from these candle bodies. And then what did we do? We came down, we dropped. We lost our market structure, that big, nice big trend that we were climbing up and everybody's bullish. We're going to 48,000 tomorrow. No, we lost that and lost the 9 moving average. And now it's like, we're going to $32,000. Flips on a dime. Not what I see. On the 4 hour, it respected this line perfectly. And also the 21 moving average. So trend line magic, just part of my strategy. I use trend lines. I think I use trend lines when people forget about them sometimes. Or when a lot of other people forget about them. I don't know. You just remember that line keeps going. It always goes. And we can always, whatever trend line you got, as long as it's valid, you got, let's say just for line in general, 3 touches. And it's a valid trend line and it will go forever. It's a ray. Sometimes it's a ray of sunshine. But, so we've just been wicking down, right? Twice, not once, but twice, right down here, just 36.7, somewhere through there. To me, this looks actually bullish. I'm not seeing anything bearish just yet. Because normally when you break a trend line, it won't do this unless it wants to be a leg rider. And I think this one wants to be a leg rider. That means it's going to ride at the upside of that trend. That's what I'm seeing as a possibility. Because if it was really bearish, I think we would actually close some more candles down here and then break. And, you know, it's possible. And I am still looking for the possibility of a retest of this. What is this? 36.3 in this area, this big orange trend line that we're on. That's why it's popping to the daily. That's the main one I don't want to break. And at some point, we will need to come back and retest it. Does it have to be now? Does it have to be this weekend? It doesn't have to be. I think we would have probably... It's almost midnight Saturday night. It's almost Sunday morning. I think we would have probably done it. Doesn't mean that we can't still, because they like to play with us on Sundays. When the CME, Chicago Mercantile, starts trading again, they like to play with us. But even here on the daily, the line, even though you can't see, you know, I don't have the same candle closes or anything here, but it's still respecting that. Your lines will look different depending on what time frame you're on, but, you know, like going by the 4 hour, where I'm kind of making my play at here. So any warning signs here that I see? I mean, it wasn't cool that we broke that trend, but hey, you can't keep going up forever, right? I do find it interesting that this trend, the first one that we were on, big pump up, well, that's what we retested over here. That dotted line started from way back over here. So it appears that we just dropped a level, if you want my honest opinion. And I would say if that trend line's respected, I'm very curious to see if we can double it and just kind of see if that makes us a new channel. Because so far, it's not showing me anything different. And you'll see that with price action sometimes, especially when it goes on a tear and pulls back. If you don't start heading down, she just kind of goes sideways or even starts climbing up, whatever the trend line is. Most of the time, I've seen that it's just falling a level. Took a step down, but going up still. Does that make sense? Dropped a level. You have a staircase going up here. You hop off of it and you're on a staircase that's still going up. So eventually you still come up. That's the only way I can explain it. And I'm just not seeing, other than this MACD cross here, which I don't, you know, doesn't have to be a big, huge move to the downside. But noteworthy to see that we do have a bearish cross on the MACD. But a lot of our indicators are ready to reset. Stochastics are down here at the bottom where they need to be. We're still in the green on money flow, even though it is headed down. A little bit of rounding looking there. It's just something we have to keep an eye on. And the biggest clue that I've got so far as the, hey man, don't worry, be happy, is that the Ichimoku cloud is just kind of still far away from price. We're not ready to take a big dive into it. So as long as we stay above the 21, which we have been, it gives us a chance to recover the 9 and start moving up. But we probably will go sideways. And, you know, that's what we talked about. I kind of hope that Bitcoin would go sideways to kind of help our alts out. But We're talking like there's a big scare, and altcoins, you know, some are pulling back. Okay, I mean they got to pull back a little bit. It doesn't go straight up. And remember, we're kind of confirming this area here that we just broke to the top of. This around, what is this, 410 billion? We had all this money coming to altcoins. People taking profits. That's all it is. I was hoping to see maybe a big influx in the altcoins as a sign that retail's coming in, but instead it appears that mostly this weekend, retail's just kind of taking some profits, and you can't blame them. I mean, you need to kind of solidify some of those gains, and I've taken some profits, probably not as many as I should. I was really wanting to take some profits on Rune, but unfortunately MEXC's wallet's messed up, so I can't transfer it there where I normally trade to sell it. But some of these coins are starting to bounce back a little bit now here on the hour, looks like. But we got some, oh, you go, Rune. Ah! I'm so glad I didn't sell you though. See? If I'd sold my little Rooney at 384, would I not be just, it's $5. Oh, Bitcoin, you do what you do. We're looking at some of the things that are making us some money, because Rune has turned into Rune has turned into one of my bigger altcoin bags now. It was kind of, it's okay. Yeah. Now it's rocking. And that's what I like. The crypto investor part of me is going, woohoo. The trader part's just kind of like, yeah, okay. So I've been trading Solana and some of the altcoins, just own futures. And that's helped out some. Of course, you know, when they go against you, you've got to be prepared for that. Let's take a look at Rune, but before we get in there, let me come back to the chat. Whoops, I swapped the buttons. Hey, there's Chef. How's it going, Chef? Good to see you. It's always a good day when we have a chef. Just watching the waves, charts are calming. Chef says, Road Dog is relaxing. What a great vibe. Hey, I appreciate that. Sometimes it's relaxing. Sometimes I find myself kind of, I don't know, stretching my voice. Doing some crazy stuff. Sorry, I've been AWOL, nothing but love. No problem, man. Just come when you can come. That's what it is. This is an open house. Welcome anytime. I am not a YouTube Nazi. You must come every night. You must. No. You show up when you want to show up, baby. I'm always grateful to have anybody who wants to be here. And they don't even have to watch live. People can watch it later. Gas has 84 million market cap and 1.5 billion 24-hour. Gas has been going crazy. And Chronotech. Okay, we'll start looking at some of these. First, we got to take a look at Rune, though. Oh, did you drop down below $5, man? Come on, you can do it, Rune. I know you can. You go, Rune. So I'm looking at this as, another breakout for more parabolic move. So I'm liking that. On the daily, we broke this one out, went parabolic. Well, now we have to stretch these out. That parabolic move is trying to go even more parabolic, straight up. And look, my little cloud is so far away from price. Now, if my little cloud was over here, or if my big cloud was right here, big green cloud, I'd be nervous. I was like, we're getting ready to dump. But this, man, I'm still holding out, baby. I'm still holding out for some bigger prices. I think we may run for the 618 Fibonacci here at $8.49, $8.50. That would be awesome. That seems like a big target for you, Rune. Let me just double check that. 12 would be juicier. You can do that right now if you want to. Don't let Teller take all the credit, you know. Don't let it be the highlight. Come on, Rune. You can do it. I know you can. You show Teller who's boss. Sometimes you just gotta talk to them. They like that. It's like talking to plants. You talk to your coins. Yeah, they like that. So 550 looks like it may be on the radar at this 382 retracement area. And let's just go ahead and mark these fibs. These fibs are excellent targets. I mean, it just makes trading easy if you treat, because the algorithm, the market, the consensus, the subliminal collective, conscious, I don't know. We like fibs, and we just naturally gravitate toward them. So it seems totally impractical and improbable until you see it play out over time, and every time, and then you're like, okay, I guess that crap works. And it really do. Call me crazy, man, but a zone like this, they're just good targets. Oh man, what did I do? I did that wrong. So I like to draw my little levels, then pull that back. I color code them so I can remember what I'm talking about. But 550 looks like it's in line, right on for Rune. Because I mean, we've already busted through the pattern, the measure move. We've already broke that, so now we're just, we got to rely on the fibs and previous areas of support and resistance. And I would not have picked that out. I would have picked out probably 568, and it may hit that. I don't know, but 550 sounds good to me. You go, Rune. You're making Daddy proud. Daddy knew that you was going to do just fine. I mean, you got down to 85 cents, and I was like, yeah, I got you. I'm not going to let you fall. I got you. I support you, Rune. That was just a golden time. So Rune's not the only one that's still popping off and looking good. You've got to be kidding me. Hey, you remember that dead one? No, this is Rev. This is something else. And this is against Ethereum. Well, if you're in Rev, I don't even know what that is. I thought it was Rep. I thought it was a different coin for a minute. She's pumping up. Probably won't stick around. I don't know, it might. There's some crosses here. The moving average is on the 200. I just picked those by accident. Coming over to the chat, I want to see what what we were talking about. So Haven was mentioning gas over on the Neo network, which it has. It's been, oh, did you fall? What happened here? She did break out of that. She did hit this, our target there at 29.82. I need to start labeling some. That should be. I can't remember if that's one of my 127s. I'm thinking that it is, because they're, pretty dang reliable that way. Ooh, what happened to you today, Gas? You come back down to $8 after hitting 20. Oh, some people are hurting if they didn't take profits on that. Ooh, that's a nasty, nasty dump. You going to come down here and touch this? You can come down to 613 on us, at least, maybe below, maybe more. What happened to you, Gas? Somebody call you names? Are they just playing games? They playing reindeer games? I would not doubt that we do something like that. I wouldn't doubt it. But man, I didn't know you hit $29. You go, girl. You do that thing. You make them work it. And we got One Hitter Quitter. How's it going, One Hitter? So you guys were talking about Pepe, right? It was mentioned. I'll just say that. It was mentioned. What is Pepe doing? She got the breakout. And, man. Got the breakout, staying above the 9-moving average, even though Market Cipher is saying, I'm going to red dot you today. Money flow's coming into the green. I don't think that's a big thing. We just kind of hit this 9-moving average here, maybe about 12.075. We're at 12.676 right now. Could pull back to the entry price there, but man, the target on this for this bull flag takes us up to 18,737 for about a 59% move from where the entry price was. From where we are now, it's still a good 48% move. I would not recommend it. It looks like it's going to play it down just a little bit on the smaller time frames. It's losing everything on the 4 hour right now. Probably come down and bump this area one more time about 11.9, 11.970. All these zeros confuse me when I tried to explain them right. Trigger says that 0.0 is looking good. I know 0x pumped. How's 0.0 doing? Oh, I remember you. We tied a balloon on it. We gave it a good talking to, telling it needs to go to the upside. Man, it's taking its time, isn't it? She's a little bit of a slow mover, it looks like. Until one of these big old spikes come, like this one, and it goes up like some crazy 182%. So I see the appeal, Strega. I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing. But man, you gotta have patience for this one, right? But I mean, really, we were talking about it here. So I'm going to take it that we looked at it when it was down at 6 cents. And where are we at? 7? Somewhere in those areas. Where are we at? About 12% move. I would say just locally, if you're looking at the price structure right here, I mean, it's one of those bullish kind of opening, broadening pattern. A megaphone, man. It's a bullish megaphone, and it should go up. A great chance to go up. So I see it's coming up on the daily and touching that 200 moving average about 8.5 cents. So I'd say, I don't know where you got in, Strega, but just from here to there, 16% move. This one just takes this just looks like it takes a little while there. Zero X was rocking today. Like crazy rocking. Like break through the targets are rocking. Knocked out 35 cents, knocked out 46 cents. Came all the way up to 55. So we've confirmed that this. Oh man, are you not going to draw for me again? It confirmed this double bottom right here. And when you see a double bottom like that, man, it more than confirmed it. That's always a good sign. And we can it probably will come back and test about the 40 cent area. But we got to measure a move from there that goes up to 63 after this bottom confirms that we should be headed there. So good things still possible to come from 0x, but it's had a killer day. Because this trend line, as soon as we regained it and broke back into it, which, you know, it's a rising channel, bearish, right? Breaking to the upside of a bearish pattern like that, those channels and wedges lead to a strong ass freaking move, especially right now at this point in the market. 92% gains just buying the breakout if you could catch it, because she went fast. Amazing. I have none. I didn't get on that one. Sorry to say. Can't buy them all. I just can't buy them. I've tried. I just can't do it. It seems like Sinverse just still wants to go though. Just staying right up there. On the 4 hour, we see that it came down to the 21 and we're bouncing off of it, as well as this trend line holding. So more upside looks for Sinverse. I would look for it to retest this area here about 0.0148 where we wicked up to. So that's one little place to look. And then I still think we're working on this measure move. The probability of going to 0.023. cents, which from here is still a nice 100% move right there. Double from where we are. That means that if you had the risk to take it, and bear in mind, this is a riskier play. The best times to get in Cineverse was when it was much, much cheaper. But we're at the point of the market here where it's, and the trading groups will do this too. Some of them, the thing is, for trading, this is great for trading because we buy high and sell higher. But you are taking a risk and you're going against what you've been told. Don't buy them green candles, and don't buy the tops. And one of my favorite rules is Bollinger Bands. Like when you're at the top of them, it's usually not when you want to buy, except for these little periods in the market where numbers still going up. So a little short window that we can kind of bend the rules on some of this stuff. But yeah, this would be this wick right here. If I were to do a trade setup, we're making this formation here. It's like an ascending triangle between these two wicks there. So that little line at 1, 2, 3 cents. The play would be to look for that, and more preferably a retest of that level to enter your trade, and then you got that move, and then you could moonbag that and let the rest of it ride, because I think this little guy is going to do big things in this bull run. This is the kind of game that people are more interested in playing when you come to play to earn. It's like Grand Theft Auto, but with blockchain features on it. It's really cool. And I'm looking for dang near close to 4 cents to come before too long. And then Daddy gonna be really, really happy. He gonna be really happy. When Hit a Quitter says, sin just won't quit. I like that. But there was a time it didn't feel that way. There was a time you're thinking, man, I need to go check on this project. Man, that team quit. Is there a rug pull? What's going on? Because it just came down so low, man. It came down, you could get 5 of them for a penny. So, I mean, it's done basically what it has, a 5X. Because my bags wasn't that big, but they're looking nice now. Another one I got, of course, we look at it a lot here. Another gaming thing that I've got, that I didn't get a big bag of this, right? But it's 3X, so now it's a decent bag. And Nakamoto Games, which is, we talked about this one before, and it got rejected at this 236. Now, we're not going to give up on it just yet because it could bounce off of this 9-moving average and then recover that and try to go. So I'm going to give it the chance. I'm here on the daily. I'm going to give it the chance for that. But if I see this break, we start coming down, well, then that confirms my rejection for sure. There's no doubt that we're going to reject it. And if that's so, then we'll be ranging, and I mean, I hate to say it, but there's always that possibility that there could be another double bottom. Don't want to see that, and we may not. Remember, we do have some trend lines that do get some respect here, and they kind of bring us back to this halfway period, about 5 cents, 52 cents. I'm sorry, 5 cents. That would be a bargain. And we also have some support resistance areas over here, about 7.5 or 75 cents. That we could be pulling back to if this doesn't hold. But the first thing is this area right here. That's the first area. What is that? $1.17. I want to see if that holds. If that breaks, then yeah, I'm thinking, man, it's just down and sideways for Nakamoto. And I would probably kick myself for not taking a little bit of profit over there, but I was thinking serious. I mean, I know I should have peeled some profit off this, but I like the size of the bag now and the potential for it to keep growing. I just made the decision that on this one, I'm just going to ride and add to it if it comes down, because I don't want to take the chance of me selling it with it being a small bag that I've got. Or that's one of my. It started out as a smaller one, which turned into a much nicer one. I'm just not wanting to risk that it'll take off without me. And I think we're at a point in the market where we could see some of that. So in our most favorite bags, the ones that we're really counting on to make us some big money, and they could make us some big money, I think you'll see a lot of people. Well, one person sold out their Caspa today. I mean, the whole bag, not half of it, not a fraction of it, just the whole bag. It didn't even sell toward the top when it was like at over 10 cents or something, right? So it was a recent sell. But I mean, you can do what you want, but my experience tells me, man, it's never a good idea, especially at this point in the market, to sell your whole stack. It's just not. So we could get a pullback, but we're in a good spot for more upside on total 3, and that's what we're looking at. Total 3 market cap. That's huge for us right now. And I'm letting this be my guide as to how I take profits. So I'm keeping an eye on this guy because he's bullish as all crap. We just went above this area, so let me mark this one. So this is how I'm looking at doing my altcoins. I'm taking this little guy. I want to differentiate. Well, it doesn't matter. That's that last high there. We knocked it out. We got a higher high. Now the way this works is that, get a higher high, we could get a higher low. We could get that pullback. We got a 64% chance to come back and retest the neckline of this inverted head and shoulders that we just broke out of. And we could lose some. We could. I'm not seeing that yet. I'm just seeing this just some rejection up here where, that's the area we were looking at. I'm surprised we got so close. Missed it by just about 5 billion. Just a little bit. But we are rejected there, but we're still above the 9. It's still a strong trend. I've got no reason to think that that's a zip for altcoins. But even when we do get that pullback, that's healthy. That is healthy. Come back and then move on up. But this move here is going to be juicy for altcoins. Doesn't mean it's going to look like that. It could just have to fight its way up there. It could be horrible. It could take forever, take till next summer to get up there. But we're headed up for altcoins because we had a falling channel we're breaking out of. And within that falling channel was an inverted head and shoulders, which finally confirmed. Pretty dang reliable pattern saying that we're about to get another $112 billion coming to altcoins. We may lose a few billion before that happens, may not, may just come straight in. But a little bit of pullback, at least to the 9 moving average here. I don't know, losing about 20 billion this next week could happen, could. But money flow tells a little bit of a different story right now as it just keeps coming in. We're headed up, so I haven't seen the tipping point here. I mean, we got red light, green light going on over here. Stochastics coming down. Maybe will. Maybe. In fact, I mean, if we got a big pullback or a little bit of a pullback this coming week, I wouldn't be surprised. But I wouldn't be scared either. I think that's the message I'm trying to. I wouldn't be scared. Things are looking good for altcoins, whatever's going on. Striga says doing pretty good, was enjoying that Luna Seed jump. Let's check out Luna Seed. You trading that one? A lot of people still like to trade that one. That looks good. Being above the 200 on the daily, flagging out above that looks juicy. And it is a flag. Okay, so 4 hours lost to 9 moving average. It's okay. 21 should catch it. If 21 doesn't catch it, then we need to talk. So depending on how you look at this, lost that trend line, but not a problem. Not until we lose that 21, then we might want to get concerned, because then your last line is the 50. If that don't hold, baby, we're going down. But these things are all fanned out, and when you get the moves up, man, you just need a little bit of pullback. To me, I think we're setting up for a nice little flag. Possible. Not confirmed, but it's a possibility. It's got a better chance of happening than not. And let's get our little breakout there. And that gives us a measure mood. What is it? It's 11,899. I have no idea what the hell this relates to Lunacy, because I'm not messing with this one. Other than the scraps that I have where it was left over from pooling it. I lost quite a bit on that. But not, it was all free money though, so no big loss. That's a good 45% move right there. So nice. And remember, we got a bigger measure move from this falling wedge all the way up to, what is that, 18,612. And from where we are now to there, that's 128%. Possible. Lunacy. Solana's kind of in the same situation there, just kind of trying to figure out what it's going to do. It is on a tear. I think it's still going to be on a tear. It's not broken this trend line. Looks juicy. I think we already took this measure move. Yeah, that's the one that gets us up to $66. That's what I'm actually looking for. And we already hit this other measure move we had at 55. Yay! Smacked it. Closed the candle. So it didn't catch the wicks, but it got the close. It lined up right there with it. I can't remember what it. I didn't put a note what the measure move was from. I think, no, it wasn't that. I don't know, man. But it hit, so we can erase that little guy. But 66 next on my list, and maybe a 68. And I would not doubt that we see $83 Solana coming soon, because that's pretty much where we're starting to have resistance, around $79, $80, where it kind of counts. Solana has just been a full of surprises, so congrats to you guys that responded enough to buy it at $8. I wasn't. I was having to deal with my bias. Striga says, every day I'm moonbagging. That's my man. Yeah. I seriously think that is one of the best strategies out there. When you moonbag it, because that just lets you pull everything out, recycle it, you get to play and moonbag something else, and you're just collected all this free crypto. So you can roll things over. It just takes a little while on some of them. Some of them I've been trying to moonbag for a year that I just haven't quite gotten there. And then some of them I got some small, like the one we need to talk about is Chronotech. I don't know why I keep forgetting about that one. That one, I mean, it's just, I've got a small, it was a small bag, right? It's a decent bag now, but I just got, I didn't really just hone in on them. I didn't big enough bags, what I'm saying. So for my small ones like that, I can put off maybe, take a little bit of profit, like just a percentage, but I can't imagine. I'm not trying to moonbag that way. It's a small bag, dude. I think I've got less than 5 of them total. Oh, they're not this one. Oh, I'm thinking about BitTensor. My bad, BitTensor. This one, okay. Are you up? How you doing, baby? Chronotech, I'm talking about BitTensor. BitTensor, it's been doing really, really well, but that's one that I could definitely moonbag, but then I'm left with just, 2.5 coins? I mean, if they go to $1,000, great, but since I started so small, that's one I'm probably not as concerned about. And, and if the market dumps here about $20 billion in the next week, I might feel like kicking myself for being an idiot. But that's just how it goes. This time is looking good now. We're in the middle of this Ichimoku cloud, a little sliver of green over here. Money flow coming to the upside. Looking good. So we're going to try to head up to about 1856, test this 200 moving average, and hopefully go a little bit further. But breakout confirmed. The only thing is that since we got these wicks, they kind of put a little damper on their party, so that might be a top limit. Now, the day that price actually breaks out above those wicks, it is on. It is on for this coin, but we've got to get above $20 and kind of stick there instead of jumping up and coming back down. That would be the only thing that I'd say about time. Just give it time. I think it'll be fine. It just needs a little bit of breathing room. It's still an accumulation, and I think maybe more and more people are looking at it. Maybe. I don't know that for true. I'm just speculating off the charts here. The biggest thing that I can point out is that we just got over this area. This little rise here that we got. Yeah, we kind of cleared that. Which I'm just going to go right down here in the middle of it. Right over here too with those. Just get right in the thick of it. So 1523 looks like that's going to hold no problem. I likes it. I just think, it's a little bit of a slow mover right now, but I don't think it necessarily has to stay that way. Let's look at the past history of it. There's a steady ass drop down there though. Woo! But when it really gets going on the weeks, it's got some nice strong moves up. And it sounds crazy looking at this, but I mean, this is really what pattern we're in. It's just a huge megaphone, and that means that wherever price is at any given time, it can pop up to the top of this trend line and it could get crazy. It could. Also got a secondary little trend line we can track too. So I like that. I like it. I think it looks good. I think it's doing just fine. I would have to say that probably what I like the most about it is the divergence that we got here on the RSI. Where this is going up. That low had a higher low. And while all the time our price action was making, a low and then a lower low. So that gives us bullish divergence. Where the indicator underside was coming to the upside and the price action is coming to the downside. And that means this is probably your reversal, baby. Probably your reversal. When Hitaquita says Naka, thanks for the heads up, I'm on it. I do like Naka. I can't remember what I just said about Naka. I just know that I'm not selling my Naka. I will add it back to my Naka, but I'm not selling it. I think that one's got some good potential. What I am doing is that on some of my degen plays, I'm not convinced about. I'm not as serious about. Some of my little more of a swing trade or midterm kind of hold. Those are the ones I'm looking for, maybe trying to moonbag quicker or take profit on earlier, and then taking that and either saving it or rolling it into some of the other stronger coins like Caspa. I've got that one on my radar, right? I've had a bag of Caspa, but I'm just so convinced that this one is actually going to be something and be important to the space that I want more of it, because I think even at 10 cents a coin, that when you look at this 18 months from now, you're going to say, damn, I would have put my whole portfolio in at that time if I knew it was going here. I mean, it seems crazy now, even trying to get them at these prices. But I think it's got some great possibilities. I think you'll look back and say, yeah, these were some of the best times still to accumulate Caspa, even though it looks so toppy. And at some point, I'm sure we'll come back to 6.5 cents. It's got I believe it's about 64% chance to do that. Matter of fact, let's find out for sure. I need to show you how we get these percentages. Well, at least how I do. Somebody, one guy that I see, the one that sold all of his gas, but He says everything's 68%. It's not. It is not. But I know where he got it. He was in the same trading group that I was. I know his training. So a throwback. 72% chance. See, I stand corrected. 64, I think, is for the rising channels and falling channels. And for falling wedges do have a 64. So a rising wedge, 72 for either up or down, whichever way it breaks out. 72. I need to make a note of that. It's always good to come over. If you don't know what I'm doing, I'm checking out the patternsite.com. Thomas Bukowski, who is the GOAT of pattern trading. The statistics that you hear, a lot of them are wrongly thrown out, just kind of like I just wrongly thrown out 64%, but I double checked it. Just so I don't want to be telling people wrong. The true statistics come from this guy. He's the one who actually did the research, wrote the books on it. So if you want to learn about pattern trading, the percentages of how they're going to do this, the actual true probabilities, this is where you need to go. Best textbook I could recommend anybody who's getting started in TA. So it's got a 7 out of 10 times it will come back. That's what that means. After it gets up 7 out of 10 times, it will come back to this area. So it's got a high probability at some point to come back and test 6.5 cents. So the guy selling off his bag today, he probably turned out all right, but he's going to have to sit there just kind of waiting and wondering, because he don't know that statistic. He don't know it. I'm not even so sure that he even knows about Thomas Bukowski. So, okay, what if that happens? Well, that may not happen until December. I'm just letting you know. You can expect your altcoins to sell off in December. There will be tax loss harvesting. That's just how this game goes. So for me, when we're over here looking at total 3 for a pullback, for that big that big head and shoulders that we were talking about, I think in early or about mid-December would be a good time for that to happen. Doesn't mean I'm right or anything though. Right now, Kaspa's still respecting this trend line, and until it breaks this bottom trend line, I have no reason to expect us to come down to lower prices. In fact, it could come back down here to 8.4 cents and then boom. We've seen this pattern a lot right now, this opening broadening wedge, and a lot of our coins that are doing really well are in this pattern right now. And it could come straight on up, and we could be hitting 11 to 12 cents. We could hit that actual 618. I think there's a good chance for that. So I'm waiting to see if that scenario may play out, if we get a bounce down here. I would not be surprised if we do, because money flow is still heavily in this project, even on the larger time frames here. So my plan is for my other bags I'm not very serious about, in the projects like Kaspa and maybe a few others, I'll be sitting on some dry powder and waiting for some of these better prices to come from it. But since we're here on Kaspa, what are you doing right now, baby? Indecision in the middle of this green cloud, but there's a little red one right there. That really doesn't give us a whole lot of information, to be honest. With the red. But until we break down below 8.3, whatever this level is, I can't say anything bad about it. Some people are looking at this as being a head and shoulders going to doom us. I'm a little picky on my head and shoulders patterns. For me, they have to have a solid neckline. And the weird thing is that can actually vary just depending on what time frame you're on. Do we have one? By the 2 hour, technically, yeah, we could. technically we could have one. And if that broke to the downside, we might be looking at a juicy 7 cents. 7 cent Casper. And if that's what we're going through, that is cool. Because, I plan to buy this thing all the way down to these areas. Because I got my bags in early. All this is doing is me adding to it. It's just, I'm still in profit. I'm just raising my entry level just little by little. And I've got room to do that. So I'm not scared about that. I likes it. I hope you do. Be healthy for a big move to the upside. But right now, I don't see the sign of it. I don't see the confirmation that we're about to lose it. But there are some warning signs. All right, so I'm not concerned until we break this level. We have to see if we do or not. Sometimes these little guys will fake you out. They'll come down and then they go straight up. So they do fail. They're not always on point. It's kind of weird to have that wick. When Hitaquist says, I'm going to add that knock to the portfolio. Knock has been awesome. I mean, it's high right now. It is really high. I mean, it's starting to bag on it right now. That's when I think DCA would be a great way. Because I mean, I got in at 28 cents. I felt like I was buying the top, right? That's what it felt like, because it was the top then. It had just a breakout of a wedge, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm buying the breakout then. And man, that was one of the better plays that I've made. It was a good play. And she just keeps on going, but what would we start terminating on? Yeah, it could be coming down. It could be, since we got a possible rejection. It was rejected here, but how far it comes down, we got to keep our eye on. But yeah, knock is one that I'll be adding to too if we ever get some of these lower lows. There's some places that we could definitely find a hiccup, and that would be along these trend lines here. So that's another thing I would be looking at. Little trend line magic. Haven't asked, will Rose break out this week? Rose has been doing good. So this is one of my degen plays too, and it one that may be on the chopping block for me. I don't know. It just depends on how well it does. But yeah, she's already broke out. She's ready to go. She's already hit a couple of our. What were these targets? I got them all blue. This is what happens when I don't stick to my color code and I forget what I've been talking about. This one had been a target. I think this was a buy zone. I think this was just support. So we don't need to worry about that little guy anymore. Get rid of that. Target's still good. 9.7 cents is what I've got there. Let's take let's straighten out and figure out what these lines actually are, since I didn't color code them. Okay, so you're a 786. I'm good with that. This one at 618 is already hit, so I'm going to move him up here. That's a 618. This is where we're most likely to come to and get rejected or get our pullback. Remember, we have a 64% chance to come down. And since I'm out here throwing all these specs out, let's make sure I'm right. I don't want to tell you guys wrong. These percentages are very helpful to know. I'm pretty sure I'm correct on this one. I think I nailed this one into my head. So a falling wedge. Dang it, I was up a 2%. 62%. So for a throwback, that's actually, we kind of use these terms interchangeable, throwback and pullback. Technically, a throwback is price is coming up and it comes back down. That's called a throwback. A pullback is really when price breaks to the downside and then it pulls back up. But we're lazy and we just call them all pullbacks. I know I do, and everybody else I listen to calls them that, or some people call them a retest or a back test, which is not the same thing by my definition. Back test is when you go back in the charts and you look and see how things worked out, like back testing a theory or a strategy. But you know, I think we're kind of lazy in crypto. So we got a 272 right there at, what is that, 14 cents. I likes that. I make those little guys red. So that's a Fibonacci from this swing high to swing low to get us there. Now a measure move for this one, for this breakout. I mean, you're just taking that right there, and that's giving us confluence for our 1272 area. That's probably why I had it lower, huh? So our measure move's coming right in that same area. So I think that 272 has a really good chance to hit. Read the chat over here while I make a little adjustment. Homework, it's the weekend. Say it ain't so, Joe. Bullish Mind said, hey, welcome to the show, man. I got knocked at 25 cents as well. Awesome. So you feeling it, baby. That is awesome. Yeah, I put out that video, my first video on Knock. I was like, man, this thing, I likes it. I think it's got potential. But when it actually starts pumping off, man, I mean, that surprised me as far as it went up. Some of these coins, we're getting bull on bull market prices out of them right now before the bull runs, the real bull run has even officially started after the halving. It's been amazing. TRB has been definitely one of those. One hitter quiz says, yep, I will DCA on the drops for Naka. Learn my lesson not to go in all the way. Yes, that's a very important lesson. I've done that so many times. Yeah, that's a hard lesson to learn. Even when I'm trading perpetuals and things like that, I'm not going all. I've learned you put in, you nibble, and then if it comes, then you can add more, whichever way it goes. If it starts going really good and pulls back, you can nibble some more and build that bag up that way. Or if it just keeps dropping, you nibble and it keeps dropping. Well, where you can see the low lows that you can, the lows of the move, or when it starts turning back and going back up, adding to it. And I found that most of these traders out there actually, are building their bags that way too. James from Invest Answers recommends doing the same thing. So it's kind of, we got this kind of pattern here, so that's what we're working with. But where are we on? Still on rows? Okay, we're still on rows. So I'm getting confused here. I can see Rose getting up to about 13 cents from where it is. There may be a retest at some point to come back about 5 or 6 cents, but right now we're sitting at 7, so that's almost a 2x. Almost a 2x right there, just to get some measure move from this pattern. And hard to kind of predict what it can do there. It could get rejected here and come back and range some more, or it could just keep on rolling. There's not much here, man, until we start getting up to about 21 cents in that area, which I think is the really juicy area for Rose. I remember it being up around those areas. This one can do well. I mean, it got as high as 60 cents. So I want to see that the main place I want to see this go to is right here. 16 cents. I want to see us get there and then get past it. It's my strategy. That's very crucial. Get above that 236 moving average, because if we don't, then we're still in this bottom accumulation range. But once we get above that, then we've got a lot more higher to go. And I'm going to move this little guy up. But 38 cents is a good midterm target. So yeah, I think Rose has got, I mean, this was all the accumulation, man. If you're serious about a project, I mean, this is where I have problems. This is why it's so hard to, it's hard for me to fathom selling out of the bags that I've built I've worked so hard to build an accumulation. Now, you do need to take profits, I agree, but I still think on some of these places, you know, I think it's still a little bit early for some of that. So you got some choices for taking profits, man, and the trend lines, that's your best friend. So what a lot of traders do will, you know, will wait till this, when it breaks, take profit then. Otherwise, you're taking it earlier and watching it keep going up, and then what if it goes parabolic? So that's the most simple strategy that I can give for when something's on a tear like this, is a trend line. Then when it breaks it, that's a good point. But still, even then, if it's really bullish, that may not be the end all be all, because it could be a leg rider. But you know, you did take a little profit, and that is part of the game plan. And at some point, it may be cheaper than what you sold it at. We got months and months ahead of us of up and down price action. It's just that mostly this month, we should see a lot more up, I believe. The best I can remember, just in sentiment, how that goes, things usually go pretty good up to right about Thanksgiving, and then it kind of goes to hell from there. But up to that week before Thanksgiving, things are pretty good. Will it play out this way? I mean, I don't know, but that's just usually how it goes on the cycles, just from memory. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm not calling it. I call it the foo pattern. Lofu. Hey, Scribe, how's it going? Welcome to the show. So a lot of things are getting in the red on the short term, but man, in the long term, they're doing good. Like Ori Chain, we're at 427 right now. And this little guy was down to like 181. It sucked. They all sucked when everything was down, but it got into a bullish pattern, or it was actually a bullish pattern, broke to the upside and still went parabolic there. We just had your buy signal right here just a few days ago on Ori Chain. And that means, hey, next dip is a good time to add to your bags or jump in if you're not in already, if you're interested in this project. Getting rejection here, I believe this is our 382. I don't know why I didn't label that. Why didn't you label that? Or 236, I'm sorry. Is it? Oh, good gosh, that wouldn't even count. Well, that's crazy talk. Maybe, no, our 236 is way up. It's just a support resistance line, yeah, okay. So, support. It was resistance, this area was resistance here, and it's still resistance there. So that's the safe play that I've got for someone that's wanting to, you know, be conservative to get in it, waiting for the bounce here. So we got a, you know, a possible trade set up. Because I got a measure move that should take us to 562 and to 636. So looking for that as a possibility. I like this one. Hey, love your live streams. Hey, I appreciate that. I like feedback. Sometimes I feel like I get a little too dull. Sometimes I feel like I get a little bit into these charts a little bit too much and explain instead of just like running through them. Because I can do that too, but you kind of miss, I don't know. I think most of you guys have a fairly good grasp on TA. But I'm always trying to look out for the people that don't, and because I remember what it was like when I was like, I knew that this cycle was coming the last time, and I was like, I know it's coming. I know this 4-year cycle. I know this is how it works, but I didn't know TA at that time. And it just seemed like such a daunting thing, but I was like, I'm not going to miss my chance this time. I'm not going to blow it this time. What I just erased there? Trade setup. We're still good. And at that time, you couldn't find that much information about how to do it. Searching all over YouTube, the only thing you found were people were selling trading groups or courses for $4,000, and it freaking sucked. So I had to join the trading group, and then I found out what we did was go through all these training videos where they just go over Investopedia, reading those articles. That's what the training was. Boring ass videos going over word for word. A falling wedge does it's the moving average. Well, just reading it, I'm like, dude, I could have done this myself. I mean, one of the advantages was that they did have some trade setups and things, and sometimes they worked out. And if they did, there was always bragging about them. But when they didn't, they were just, whoopsies. Never mentioned again. But I think failed setups are important. Most of the ones that would fail, and I don't know why, but they love symmetrical triangles. Worst pattern in the world, in my opinion, to trade. But there were lots of those, and still are to this day. So QNT, baby, breaking out of this falling wedge. Doing good, heading toward this Ichimoku cloud. My next target for QNT is 127. Hoping to see up to 150. That would be a nice move, even from where we are. That's about a 45% gain. She's been I don't know how to describe her. It's been slow for this one to take some gains. Actually, that trading group that I was just mentioning, because I joined them again after I started this channel, because I thought, well, that could help me with setups and things like that too. It was right over here. They were doing the same thing. I think it was the same thing. Was it a symmetrical triangle? They were doing the same thing, and that one failed. That one did not work out. And she just kept coming down. But in retrospect, I was like, it makes sense why it did, because you broke this trend line and it rejected it. So, boom, that's the reason why it did. And that was never explained, but that's why it didn't work. Because when you break these major trend lines, well, it's a big thing. It looked like it was going to try to ride it back up, but it just ended up getting rejected there. And then it just came down to nowhere. QNT, I like it, and I remember getting it. I must have been over here. I started picking some up. When it dropped around 40-50, I picked up some. I didn't make the most of my bag there at all, though. I'd say most of my bag I got right around 100. I was buying right through here. So it's finally in a little bit of profit, but nothing major yet. But it is one of my bigger bags. I like it. But I'm just looking right now for this bull flag to play out, and that's where we're getting this local target, 126. So for traders, that's the target you're looking for. For those of you holding this for a while, well, I'm waiting for this thing to hit some big money. That's the only reason I'm holding this thing. Bullish Mindset says Litecoin looks like it's going to break out. Bullish, welcome to the stream, man. Litecoin is actually a coin that I like, because I have a Litecoin miner. It's not hooked up at the moment. I think we'll be set up to do it in the spring if it's not too outdated. But I actually like Litecoin. I actually have a bag of Litecoin. A lot of people don't like Litecoin, call it an old dinosaur coin or anything, but it's solid. And as technology advances, we already see BRC20 tokens, where now we know that we can do DeFi on Bitcoin. What do you think is going to follow? I would not doubt that we do this on Litecoin or even Dogecoin, which is mined with Litecoin, because they pair mine them. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but if you mine Litecoin, you're mining Dogecoin too. I am totally on the wrong chart here. Excuse me for that. I'm looking for a good chart. Let's just go with Binance. Oh, we've already got it. That's noisy as all get out. That's really noisy to me. I see no reason. I don't know what I would be doing on this chart. Let's just start all over. Litecoin's got some divergence right there, right? At least on the wave table. It's showing some on the wave table. I'm not really seeing it down here on the RSI. I would feel better if I saw it on the RSI, to be honest with you. So, major trend line that we bumped three times solidly. Holding. Nice. Pattern-wise, we're just down at the bottom. We're trying to do a double bottom, basically. Possibly. We'll just say that, possibly. Double bottom so that we can confirm this area at 114 as the neckline. So it won't be until we get past 114 that we'll really see some good action out of Litecoin. But that 114 is still a nice bump up, but that's the main target that we're looking for, and it may take it a little while to get there. It might. Litecoin does kind of like to fumble around. See what it did over here, how it kind of just went. We might be looking at something like that. We might drop back 63 again. Maybe. It could happen. I'm just saying. The reason I'm saying that is just what the weekly's telling me. And I'm on the weekly chart here. We can get some sideways action. It may be hard to get above 82 cents. Because we got these moving averages to work through, but we've got a good start. It's above the 9, so we're good. That's good for right now. Just getting rejected off the 21. MACD looks like it's ready to flip bullish. That's great on the weekly. For the weekly, that's a big thing. On the daily, it can be. Now, let's go to the daily chart and talk about what's so juicy here about Litecoin. Because we just flipped this area. So now that resistance is, becoming support. Notice that we are above the 9 moving average. And every once again, we'll wick down and touch that 21, and that is quite normal, quite okay. But as long as we're right above the 9, I've got nothing negative to say about Litecoin or what it's doing, because it's doing all the right things. I just recommend drawing this trend line and watching that. And if you're trading or looking for, a definite place to take profits, wherever it comes, it'll probably come up to the 200 moving average, maybe 78. Could get rejected there. And if you're trading, maybe. If you're holding this for long term, then what does it matter? Or if you're trying to do a build a bag strategy, maybe taking a little bit of profits and trying to buy cheaper, but that's on you. Sometimes that works good, sometimes it doesn't work as great. We have a tendency to jump back in too soon when we sell out, because we're like, I don't want to lose my bag. That's what's going on in our heads, and that's why it can sometimes work against us. You've got to be really, really patient and get out at some, at those good times and wait. And sometimes that's a little hard. We should get a retest up here around $92, wherever it comes to on this trend line. That's going to be the real one, see if we get rejected. So actually, I know 78 will be coming into play. We're at 74 now. I'll be looking for about 92. And see, that'll be a make or break moment there. And if it gets rejected, that's fine. We're looking to coming back about where we are and trying it again. I like Litecoin. It's a turtle until it's not. However, it still doesn't outperform Bitcoin overall. That's the only thing I'm concerned about it. Because if you do a Litecoin Bitcoin pair, historically, I mean, you just kind of see. Let's get over here on the monthly. Historically, it just kind of goes down and to the right, and so it's not overall. It's really not the greatest play against Bitcoin, well, at least at this time. But better to get it here because it does have a chance to at least come back up to some of these areas. But overall, it's just kind of, you know, it's never made a higher high yet. Can that change? Maybe. I don't know. As far as Bitcoin goes, we definitely have some areas to recover. And as long as Bitcoin keeps taking off, I mean, Litecoin can, you know, get the brunt end of the stick, meaning that it's really, it's just not going to outperform Bitcoin right now. And it says that even here on the monthly, that we're getting ready to take a nice leg down compared to Bitcoin. So between the two, it's probably is wiser to be in Bitcoin, but yet here I am still in Litecoin. I may have to meditate on this one after seeing this chart, this monthly chart. I may have to meditate on this one because I'll be honest, I'm not liking what I'm seeing here on the monthly, being under the 9. And this is against the Bitcoin pair. This is not against the dollar. It will do fine against the dollar. It's just taking a while. But overall, you can't grow your Bitcoin with it. Just in general, you can't. Because Bitcoin just outperforms it. And the monthly says it's going to continue to outperform it. So when Bitcoin takes off like crazy, its value against Bitcoin is just going to keep going down for right now. That is kind of concerning to me. Dang it, because my whole point is to grow my Satoshis, man. Stack my sats. Hope that didn't bum you out. It kind of bummed me out seeing that, actually. You go, Rune. Rune, what are you doing? You doing it right now? Oh, baby. I think she just made a new high. Rune is at $5.08. Tia, that's one that I wanted to look at. Tia. Which Mindset says, love your remix. It's very funky. Are you talking about the music? It is all epidemic sounds, man. I just go through there and pick out stuff that I think sounds good and put it on a playlist. Download it and put it on a playlist. I try to mix it up. Sometimes we have I guess it should be Taco Tuesdays, but it just we have Latin night, got reggae night, disco night. We had disco night. Tia is looking good on the 1 hour. It's got to go. It's getting ready to go up. Every once in a while, you'll see me make a daring little degen buy here on the stream, and dang, there was a reason why I didn't get in this one. Because we were looking at it here, we had the targets. I did not nibble on this one. It blasted through that. So those targets are hit, and then it said, thought I was going to stop there. 4 hour is looking wild. But the 1 hour looks like she's trying to do something. I try not to draw this pattern too often because I feel like sometimes it's a little subjective, or it is when a lot of people do it. You can draw it this way, but don't forget where your bottom trend line is. And if you take that trend line, copy it with Control-C, and move it, you kind of see what we're really in. See that? Because price is always in a channel. If you remember that concept that price is always moves in a channel, that will help you out a lot. So if we get a breakout, well, we're headed to the top of the channel, about 459, and it could go higher. You can also take your measured move here and hope that that hits, and that will come in higher, but not necessarily hit. But I will say this, if we break out to the upside of this channel, meaning that we do hit that target, and then we'll have to get outside this channel, and that could be more parabolic action. So I'll throw that out there. Tia's one, I've got to check I think it was the tokenomics that kind of scared me off on this one. I was hoping I got the airdrop, but I've not seen it. It told me I didn't, because I hold Cosmos and everything, and I usually get in on those airdrops. I think this is what made me nervous, because I didn't know what the release schedule was. And it already it came out the door at $2. I mean, and that's kind of weird to me. So, I mean, it tells me that a lot of people have the 141 million that are in circulation right now. And there definitely is a lockup, an unlock schedule. And then, of course, for the treasury and staking and pools and stuff like that. It's doing good, don't get me wrong. But if you released all these coins, it would have to have a $4 billion market cap to maintain this. That's what concerned me. But in short term, didn't really matter, did it? Because this sucker's already 2x'd, and just banking on the 141 million out there, it could make some gains. But just know that it will probably be one that reaches its peak this market, and then in subsequent markets, it may not reach those peak again. So it may kind of taper off. Let me go this way. That's how you see it, right? So I did not get on this one, but shout out to you guys that did, because, well, you're smarter than I was and didn't let your feelings disguise themselves as logic and get you out of it. How else can I explain that? It didn't tickle my risk factor, even though it played out like one I would love to be in. I was tempted, but I just didn't do it. Just didn't do it. She looks nice. She looks nice. So all these lines down here don't really matter. Let me get rid of those. I like to be able to see what I have on my chart, and I can draw out what we had. That was a great breakout. The problem that we're having now is, it may not be a problem, but we did break that. And she looks like she wants to go up, so yeah, it looks great on the 1 hour. Could get a retest of that now and see what it does. I mean, it's either going to drop. This cloud is starting to get closer. It doesn't mean we're going to drop now. It may come up a little bit more. I don't know. We have to watch. I'm just concerned about this. This is going to be a problem. The only good thing would be if it breaks up that upside, but that's going to be kind of rare for it to do. And see, we could also draw it like this. So many different ways that you can look at this. But a lot of people see this where it's flattening out, and they do see that as being a ascending triangle. And the problem is, and I will say this for one analyst that I see do this all the time, this is extremely important. This was actually one of the biggest lessons that I learned that changed my trading and everything. Because if you don't see this, if all you see is this is what you see. This is what you see some of these guys do. It's called a possibility to go up to $5.09. Well, you just ignored the fact that we broke a trend line. And when they come back and it doesn't hit that 9 cents target, when it comes back and it maybe does something like a double top, they quickly skip over it. Well, the market didn't like it. It just wasn't this day. No, nothing but the fact of my own, that's what you get. It's a different story when they hit, and then you get a different narrative. But I'll give you this: the 1 hour does look like it's going up. There's some bearish divergences forming here, so I'm looking at that. She's had a nice run. She really has. Let's see, what do we got here? Our 2 hour looking a little bit bearish here on our MACD. That's concerning, but we're still above the 9 moving average, and we're still far away from the Ichimoku cloud. So I'm getting some mixed things right here, which just kind of makes me think it's even a better reason to pay closer attention to this trend line, because I think she's still going to be bullish on the short term until we get up here, and then possibly our divergences take over. I don't know. Got to keep an eye on this one. I can't get a solid read. When the shorter terms want to rock, and good signs that they will, the larger ones are saying "4 hours saying this still wants to rock." 6 hours one's got a problem. Why are you being such a difficult read for me right now, Tia? Okay, I can only say that my negative things to say about it is broken this trend line, which could be a problem, and a little bit of bearish divergence. But there's some things on here saying that she still wants to rock. Maybe she'll just surprise us. If you break up above that trend line, I expect parabolic activity, so I'll throw that out there. I'm going to go with this. With these mixed signals that I'm seeing, I'm going to say look out for a bear trap when we pop up in there. If that's a bear trap and we pop up above 434, this one may shoot to the moon. I'll throw that out there because our 4 hour just looks juicy to me. 4 hour Ichimoku cloud says it was ready to ride. So sound a little wishy-washy on that one. That one had some inconsistencies there, but I'm even gonna leave this chart like this. I think it's got a fair chance to try to make a move like that. It may not, but I think it's got a fair chance. Wow, this one was a difficult call. When Hitter Quitta says Rune, yeah, Rune is awesome. Now here's one that I've got that's finally starting to do better. I've had this one for a while. This one I think is a good trader coin, but I got turned on to this one from my old trading group because this is a face melter, and it can do amazing things. This is Waves, and I mean it's hit $42 and up to $63. Hung around here about 15 for a while, and it's been under it's been like $1.50 for the longest time, right in that area. On down to about $1.36 at 214 now. Looks like it's getting ready to try to break out. Nothing is until it does it, until it confirms. But I think it's got a good chance to try. Usually they kind of break out a little bit further into the pattern. About 75% of the way in is where these triangles usually kind of break out to the upside. Not quite sure that we're just, well, maybe close, not too far away. I guess it could hit puberty early. It'll be interesting. So I would, if we get rejected, we can come back down a little bit and maybe try it again. Might see that a ring, but a breakout from here. I mean, we're looking at $4.71, and looking forward to that. And even up to 540 could be in the picture there. But we got this was the measure move, and it's also getting some confluence here, I believe, with the 200 moving average there. I want to double check my measured move because okay, I feel good about that. If it breaks out here, actually we can move that up a little bit. It's a wedgie. Those wedgies will put a sour look on your face sometimes. So here's one that's doing kind of cool. That's Nexera. It's a Alliance block. I like it. I have a story about that one. When Alliance blockchain was dumping like crazy after the exploit, I just put in some wild bottom offers that got hit. So, and then they replaced that with this. So I've just been sitting on this bag for a while, and I like it. I like how it's performed so far. So it's confirmed a double bottom here and went above, and it's got a chance that it may come back and retest this area. 8.3 cents. It's already made 70% gains just from the breakout. So target hit. Awesome. And this was, I think that's what was that target? From here to 786. From here, she hit past our 414. That's not the right way. Now this swing high to swing low, since we're headed up, I'm not going to neglect this target at 13.357. And that's my target. If we make a higher high, that's where I kind of anticipate this going, even though we do have a measured move up to 11 or to 12.3 cents from this guy. If that hits, that's a little bit of a stretch, my personal opinion, but we're getting close up there. But it had a nice move so far. And if she retraces, I do expect come back to this area. But a good thing to do is to take a fib from the swing low to the swing high. If this is in fact our top, if we're not, if this is played out, and it could be, it hit a nice Fibonacci area to retrace on. We've got some confluence with the 382 right there, so that gives me some confidence that that's a good target to look for, about 8.3 cents. Of course, it could come down lower, it could come down to 619, but confirming this double bottom scenario, it really shouldn't. We should flag out there before we head up. So that's what I'd be looking for Nexera. I feel like we look at a lot of the same coins a lot, but I think there are a lot of the ones that we have, and they're moving. Now, I've been recently looking at FTT token, and noticed she got our little pullback there. But I gotta say, on the 4 hour, it's not looking that bad. Of course, our moving average have not crossed. Right now, we've just lost the 9 and bounced off the 21 like we're supposed to do. Let's pull a fib and see what we got on that. That's off of 618. Ooh, baby. I think that would give us one of these guys. which should come up to 740. And also, if I am not mistaken, the 1.41 fib right on it, right there. That's an AB equals CD move when we do that. It's possibly an AB equals CD. When we pull back to the 1618 like that from a move, you can take this measured move and put it right there on that low point on that 618. Or you can just pull a fib and get the same area. It comes up to the 414 area there. Just a little tricky trick to look at. Of course, don't believe me. I'm just a dude on the internet, but just watch it and see if it happens. It might not. I'm just saying it has a good chance. So you're saying we got a chance. Saying you got a chance. Also, it falls within bull flag theory, although doing a bull flag, you know, most people take that and put it at the breakout point, which actually gets us a little higher. So let's play with that idea too. That's what's so fun about technical analysis. That was the wrong one that turned blue. So I put a little note there so I know what I'm talking about next time I come across that. That was from the flag, possible flag, a possible flag. Now I was taught to say possible when we come on the patterns because nothing is confirmed, nothing is solid until it's confirmed. And a lot of people are early to call things out before they actually confirmed, and sometimes it doesn't look that good. Because things can always go wrong, but we are finding, you know, flipping this area of support or resistance into support here. I see that. So got a good chance that we can recover this non-moving average on the daily. Got some divergence going on right here. That's a good sign for FTT token. I can't believe I'm sitting here talking positively about FTT token. Blows my mind, but we got a swing low here and we got a higher low. And then what do we have going over here on our RSI? Well, we got things coming down. I think that lines up, doesn't it? Is that about the same area? Oh, went a little bit overboard. Right there. Not only that, of course, this is just the 1 hour. Not only that, though, the MACD looks like it's trying to flip bullish on this too. So might have something good happen. But we got to get above that 9 moving average, and we haven't quite done that just yet. But the divergence is there for more upside. That yeah, this area down here should hold and flip us up. Are we going to see 740 out of FTT? I hope so, because I nibbled at this one because I taught myself how to get in Solana when it was $8. So I figured, well, I didn't catch this at $1. I caught it like at 2 something. Let's see what happens. Strega says, I hope Crow keeps rolling. I think it's got a good chance to. I mean, once it gets on the roll, it usually does okay. Let's take a look at Crow. Let's look at let's go to the 3-day. 3 days good. So, a long time since I looked at it on this. Where's this? OKX? This is the OKX chart. So, I mean, we had our high way up here, but we came down, and then we had this one before we dropped. So I'm taking it from this swing high to swing low in this Fibonacci. And we got confluence here right with the 236, and that's the area that we got to get above. So 15.6 cents is what I'm looking for. We could go into the smaller time frames and get some smaller targets, but this is the one that really matters, because if we don't break above that, then, like I preach this a lot, then we're going to do some kind of crazy range thing. That would not be fun. So we've already hit the 200 moving average here on the 3-day. 3 days is a good chart to trade. We're getting resistance at a previous support level, so that's what's happening now. So right now we need to see this area flip. And once that does, and it's trying right now as we speak, it's already got a candle above it. Let's go to the regular candles there, and you can see she opened a candle right above that line, so that's juicy. I would like it if it opened above the 200, but hey, you can't have everything. 3 days got money flow coming up. Yeah, Strig, I think this one, I think it's just time for these alts to run. And like I mentioned last night, you know, you're going to see some run, and then you're going to see them pull back. And then you're going to see others pop off, and it's just money, people taking profits and putting them into another one and just, you know, doing the trading thing. And that's something that we can do too. If you got, I mean, I'm being conservative with my long-term bags, but the ones that, you know that I'm not going to try to hold through the whole market, I'll mess with those. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That was the measure move from this channel. Just going from candle bodies, drawing the trend lines here. Probably could even tighten that one up a little bit. You just go straight down. Just go straight down. And just put it at the breakout point. That's where it broke out. Look at it. Can you say that nailed that peak right there? That's how cool the measure moves are, especially on channels. They're usually pretty dang accurate on the channel. So amazing. So could we get a pullback here? Yeah, we could. One great place to look at for a pullback is always the 9 moving average from whatever time frame you're on. If there's a rejection here, it could happen, and it would suck for 7 cents. But right now, our smart time frames still look good. And this has just been holding above. This is the 4 hours. Just been holding above that 9 moving average this whole time. Gorgeous. And then until if it looks like it's going to keep doing it. Kind of broke through here just a minute. No big deal. And the 1 hour though, now that one's going to be a little bit tricky. She's wanting to come back down and retest this 50 here. And that's just like at 10.1 cents. What does that look like over here? Nothing. I mean, it could wick all the way down to the 21. It's looking like it's trying to stick over here above the 9 moving average there. I think Crow she's looking kind of juicy. We did break this trend line. So we got a little sideways action here. Some people might even see this as a bear flag, and they might be calling for a price to the downside. To like 8.5 cents. It could happen. I'm just saying 4 hour would be my clue. I want to see that 9 moving average hold. I don't like that. Doesn't mean it's going to stick that way, but it's worth noting. But look at this Ichimoku cloud. It's got some support there. I think we're just seeing a healthy pullback on a lot of our altcoins right now. And it looked like some people were getting a little bit nervous about it. But again, that's where we come back to total 3 here. And she's made some ground, made a higher high. Overall, I think we're good. And we may get a pullback for a few days. But on the serious projects that you got, I wouldn't be trying to get scared selling it. Watch you Rune, man. Rune up to 516, 519. You go, baby. I like what I'm seeing. Top 100 is doing good. What is our... some of the new guys are... this one. I got some of this. I know. I bought a toppy top on it. I just did this one today. Altura. It just nibbled. I know. It's a top, right? It's not supposed to be doing that, right? It's against the rules, right? It is. And I may regret that. But then again, if we're in this channel, how accurate is it? Well, that's pretty spot on. Okay, my little hopium of that being a bear trap just got killed. I see some big things for this one in the long run, though. And if we're lucky enough to break to the upside of this, because this one is actually a bearish pattern, we could see some stronger moves up. So I've just got my eye on that. But this one's trying to start doing something, right? It's already flipped this area. Oh, we did have one coin that we talked about that did lose some ground today. We'll get to that one next. I just now remembered it. But we flipped this area, it seems, from resistance to support, so that's good. It's at the top of the channel. It's got a good chance to get rejected there. It does. I'm just saying that. I hope that it doesn't come back below 5.2 cents because, you know, we worked hard to get past that. If we do, I mean, I'm looking for something like that and maybe continue up with hope. It's got some good signs here on the 3-day that she's ready to start rocking. But she is at the top. Not the greatest place to put a buy in, I'll say that. And but that's one that's on my radar for maybe a midterm hold. So I'm not going to go with that one. I want to try this one first. See if we can get some targets for this one. See how this stuff like. Yeah, that one does work. Okay. So we want to go for the top, and we can. And we got some confidence there, but we also got some more relative confidence just from this last high down to the low. Because that's the whole leg here from there, right? We had, when I'm looking at these, this high to this low, that's one move, right? And then we come up and then we do something totally different that comes here and then it keeps coming. So that's gonna, I'm taking my top measure for my fib there, and it's got confidence as well. So that gives me the point that we want to get above a support resistance flip right here, right around 10 cents. So I'm really looking for Altura to get to 10 cents or better. Or else face a bunch of more accumulation. So the one that had trouble today that we looked at was Floki Safe Moon. She took a hit today. She's looking better though. She went all the way down to what, 1700. That's quite a big drop. But it looks like it's making a little bit of a recovery there though. So a little profit taking going on there and a little bit buying back there. Let's see if we can see how much does she drop. I have to use this tool because I don't think the other one's working on it. I try. It just counts bars. It doesn't give me a percent. Oh, come on. Pick the right thing. Is this you? Is this the short one? I need the short one. Stop making it difficult. I just want a percentage, man. That's all I'm trying to do is measure a percentage. That's it, I swear. Why you gotta make this so difficult? She took a 44% drop. Ooh. So my Floki Safe Moon went down a little bit today. Well, actually, it went down about a third. I don't know where it is right now, but it's okay because it's a moon bag. I got no risk in this thing at all. I'm letting this baby ride. No risk in there at all. I put out my profit, or put out my capital and then some profit on top of it. This has actually been a surprisingly good play. And it looks like we may be trying to do a little cup and handle thing. It could. I know we talked about that possibility. And I just don't want to see it come back below this area here, 1431. So we could see the little guy kind of do something like that, and then it might. We'll keep an eye on it. I'm not saying for sure, but watching this pullback about where it wicked to, just slowly come back down there before it makes a bigger move. That's what I'm looking for. So still got my own Floki saving, but she did take a hit. But I'm cool because I already pulled out my profit. Strager says, just staying patient. Yeah, this is a time to, it's really going to test our patience, because you always need to be taking profit. I don't want to neglect that, but you also don't want to sell your bags out too short or too soon. And again, keep going back to total 3. We've got so much room that we can go. But yet, just to be on the fair side, I don't have my moving averages up here. Are they not on this? Oh, man. Oh, you're killing me. And we're at 410 billion right now. 410 billion. Four-hour, we're still above the non-moving average. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, we're slowly curving to the upside, if you can see that. So we got this major trend line, and then we got this one here that's, the bodies are holding good, and then it wicked down and touched it right there. I don't see a sign that we're going to get our retracement just yet, but it's possible to get that retracement, and then that part will suck. to be holding them and riding them down. And that's the point we'll be kicking ourselves. Man, I knew I should have took more profit there. So that's what I'm waiting on, but I'm not seeing signs of that yet. So I'm watching this one to kind of guide me as to when to take profit. And I think the 4 hours is a good one to keep tabs on that. And just, as it keeps going up, keep drawing those trends. But right now, I'd put this one as my line in the sand. That if I see price, close a candle below this, or that's one thing. Maybe I need to pull out some. But look what happens. We just get these little trend lines there and there and there. They keep holding that same angle. So this is our new local trend line right here. If this one breaks, I'm not as concerned. It's not that great, but we know it can do that. It's just stair-stepping its way up. So I so far it's telling me it is not time to totally take all your profits right now, because you can sell, and those whatever's pulling back right now can just take off and leave you behind. It can. Striga says, I want to get back into XLM. I think it's what, at 12 cents now? Oh my God, so we do a 2-hour stream again tonight? I'm telling you, I get in the charts and I just get lost. If I get hyper-focused, I lose track of time. So I'm seeing a megaphone pattern. There's a fuzzy support resistance here. It just cut right through the middle of it. Seems to be holding pretty well. So about to get the golden cross here on the 12-hour. Officially got it way back here. And it's still holding. It's starting to turn up. That's interesting. So the 12-hour was looking a little bit bearish. This one, I mean, we lost the 9 on this one. I don't know if it's going to go so much below 12 cents though. It looks like it may stay there. We popped out of the cloud, got the green there. MACD says hasn't officially crossed here. Looks like it's going to, but it can look like it does and then surprise you. All right, we broke that, retested that. Yeah, it does look like we could get a little retracement there and then. We already touched the 618. Well, it looks like we got a good chance of maybe coming back down here and touching again, since it already wicked down there, but it doesn't have to. I would say it's got a fair chance since our moving averages are getting rejected there. The 9 starting to turn down and everything, so maybe they come down. That's just 11.5 cents. Actually, I think I bought a bag of this around 12 cents a long time ago. Now I think it's still sitting over on Coinbase, because I haven't been over to that exchange in a long time. We got rejected right here at this area. Ooh, right under. Oh, that's a key level right there. Support and then resistance. So it's having a hard time with that. I have to watch this one and see. I mean, we could technically come all the way back down to the bottom of this channel, kind of do something like that. If it did, we could get set up for nice head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders. That could be something. And if that happens, basically we're just jumping up a level, right? So that will take a while to play out, but that could get us up to about 16 cents. It has confluence with these areas over here. I like that idea. This one's just a kind of a slow mover though, you know? It just kind of is. That's holding nice. So that trend line is valid and holding, so I don't know, will we see 11 cents or close to it? It's just a penny away. It's not that big of a deal in the bigger scheme of things. But I see some signs, some possibilities that could happen. Keep an eye on that. 250 for the golden cross. Yeah, you want your 50 to cross over your 200 on whatever time frame. And that's a buy signal. Especially on 4 hour, the daily and the weekly is just awesome. But it doesn't mean exactly buy then. It can, but it usually means you usually get a little bit of a pullback at some point. What I've found is that like you'll have a 200, and then you get your golden cross, and in my case I use a blue line, so that's it. But then also usually there's the 100, which on mine are white. And eventually when that one crosses over, it's bullish overall, right? But usually I found that when the 100 finally crosses over, that's usually when price will start taking a steeper pullback during that correction. It's crazy. Doesn't happen every time, but most of the time it does. I'd say probably 8 out of 10 times. Just keep that on, in mind. It's bullish overall, but temporarily it's kind of like price wants to go touch that 100 moving average whenever it crosses the 200. It just, likes to do it a lot of times. Like, just like we did here. Although it didn't, it crossed here, but then this is not the great example, but this is where it did cross. But eventually we did come back and make sure we touched it after it did cross. But sometimes when I see this happens, as soon as that happens, we get price just comes down. Not major, but a pullback. See, AGIX is still fighting with that 25 cent area. This is one of my bigger bags too. Just hit our targets, all nice and pretty. I guess we can get rid of those now. Clean up this chart a little bit. Hit measure moves. Looking for another measure. I'm looking for 28 cents out of this one. It just hasn't made it there yet, but it looks like it's trying to. Of course, I've been playing this one since it was at 5 cents because I know that it has. I know it can do well. Of course, it did exceptionally well, hitting 66 cents back in February. It may be February again before it hits those levels again. It's been a slow mover, down and depressive after getting that, but starting to show some upside now. Come on back to 50 cents, maybe. See what I do to that. This is going to be one of my long-term plays, but I don't know that, you know, we come up in then some of these higher areas, I'll be taking some more serious profit. So we got a, hey man, how far did you come down? You went down a little bit too far for a cup and handle. You just did. Just a little too far for a cup and handle. Regardless, if it gets past 67, 68 cents, there is a measured move just for doing that, that right there, and that takes us up to $1.29. That might be, that's kind of my big target for it right now. We can get up there. I'll be selling the majority of my bag. All right, guys, I appreciate you for being here. I've carried the string on way too long. It's supposed to be an hour stream, and I carry them on for 2 hours sometimes. But we looked at a lot of altcoins, a lot of things going on, and hopefully it's just a little bit of clarity in the market. You know, a pullback is fine, but I think we've still got some more upside coming for our altcoins. It may be a bumpy ride for some of them, but overall, things are starting to look really nice and juicy for altcoins. And it's okay to peel out a little bit, you know, take 5-10% off whenever you feel, I don't know. You guys can figure out your own profit taking strategies. I just warn you against getting wholehearted and selling your whole bags and everything. I think it's a little bit too early for that. But it's never too early to pay yourself some. But it's a great price to take things that you're not really convinced too hard, you know, projects you're not just so solidly on, and, you know, take some profits and then either hold it to the side and wait for a bigger pullback, or a little risky to roll it into the ones that you do like, unless they're, you know, I'm doing that with Casper a little bit because it's kind of in price discovery. It's just a good time to be in crypto, man. You're seeing the fruits of your labor. That's the important thing, and just know that life-changing money, it's coming over these next 18 months. It's just going to keep getting better. All right, good night, everybody. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you again tomorrow night.
Come on, come here, boy. Come on. You freaky dog. I don't need to analyze. Every word that comes out is a lie. Make it look like it's so ice, ice, ice. You won't make it to the finish line. Now if you gotta know the truth was gonna let you go. You was fine, never mind, unpredictable. Feet out of the ground, you ain't no one. You a star, blow it up like supernova. In the nighttime, hit my hotline. Sharing secrets, you wish really was part your life. Basic bullets, with no bullets. Does your wifey know you're begging for my notice? Promise you're the same, running for the meds. Sure you like my vibe, that's my candy on my wrist. Bad habit,